Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are cracking open the files on one of the absolute most elusive aliens in the entire Omnitrix arsenal. If you've ever geeked out over the art of stealth or, weird extraterrestrial biology, you are in for a serious treat. We're looking at a transformation that doesn't just hide in the shadows, he literally becomes them. So let's get right into it.
Part 2.
To top the whole shebang off, Chamalien boasts extreme evasion. His body is naturally super slippery and smooth. Just imagine for a second trying to grapple with a giant, invisible, highly slippery salamander that also happens to have a tail stinger and razor claws. Yeah, good luck. It's nearly impossible to grab him, which makes him an absolute nightmare for any brawler-type opponent trying to lock him down in a fight.
It really begs the question, doesn't it? How exactly do you catch the invisible? Well, it turns out relying completely on not being seen comes with some pretty profound and, frankly, ironic weaknesses. Let's look at his fatal flaws. And this first point is absolutely crucial. Chamalien does not actually turn transparent. He just changes his color to match the environment. Because his physical body is still physically there, blocking the light, he still casts a visible shadow. He also leaves trackable footprints in the dirt. On top of that, bright lights are a massive disadvantage for his sensitive vision, and his whole species is completely vulnerable to Vladat mind control via Corruptura Terras. Building on those flaws, you really don't even need to see him to catch him. Vulpamancers can easily track him using their enhanced radar-like senses, and Oddites, they just track his mana signature. But honestly, the funniest and most effective countermeasures are totally low-tech. If Chamalien tries to carry a visible object, it just floats in midair and completely gives him away. And if you throw, say, a handful of powder or a splash of oil on him, boom, his ultimate camouflage power is instantly and completely ruined.
1 million. This number is actually super significant to Chamalien's real-world history. He wasn't just randomly dropped into the show. His design was first unveiled to fans as a special reward when the official Ben 10 Facebook page hit exactly 1 million followers back in April of 2011. It was this massive community milestone that finally brought this alien out of hiding for the very first time.
And we definitely have to credit the brilliant minds who brought Chamalien to life. The initial concept art was sketched out by the legendary Glenn Murakami, while the sleek final design we actually see on screen was finalized by Glenn Wong, with color styling by Chris Hooten. And we cannot forget the voice. The incredibly talented D. Broadley Baker provided his vocals, giving Chamalien this really distinct light German accent that just works so perfectly. It is so fascinating to see how translators around the world handled his unique name too. In English, it's obviously a mashup of chameleon and alien. In French, they went with chameleon exaggerator. In Greek, it translates pretty literally to alien chameleon, but my absolute favorite, for sure the Polish translation. They named him Prajeninka, which actually stems from their word for overkill. It is just a brilliant way of keeping Ben's original joke alive in their dub. Sadly, though, Chamalien holds a somewhat tragic title as the Lost Alien. He and Fast Track are literally the only regular aliens introduced in Ultimate Alien who never made a single appearance in Omniverse. Behind the scenes, Derek J. Wyatt actually revealed that Ben was originally planned to use Chamalien to spy on a character named Chadsmuth in Omniverse, but the entire scene was dropped when the story changed, meaning he didn't even get a verbal mention. Which brings us to a question I want to leave you with today. If you had the Omnitrix, how would you utilize the ultimate stealth of the Merlinda Sapien DNA? Knowing his incredible agility, his hidden stingers, and of course, that fatal shadow flaw, how would you deploy Chamalien in the field? It's a pretty fascinating thought experiment that really shows just how deeply designed these alien transformations are. Thank you so much for exploring the lore with me today, and keep on exploring the source material.